constantly feel like there's not enough time in the day to get everything done, well, you are not alone. But in today's video, I'm going to teach you 10 time management techniques that, if you implement them, could save you 2 hours a day. So let's dive in. Okay, number one is to throw away your to-do list. Seriously, get rid of it, because a to-do list makes everything feel possible. When you put your tasks onto a calendar instead, you can actually see what is truly possible in your day, and you're no longer going to be fooling yourself into thinking that you can get a million things done every day. You have got to start marking your tasks with time. So I completely refuse to use a to-do list. I put every single thing into my calendar, and even if I'm just coming up with, I need to buy new socks, I throw it into the calendar, and later on I will find a time for that thing to be done. But everything gets scheduled with time, and that way I can see, I actually can't fit in that new project, and I'm honest with myself. So get rid of your to-do list, get a time-blocked calendar hour by hour, and start putting your tasks into that instead. Number two is to add thoughts to your calendar. So I don't know anybody else who does this, but it really helps me to add in the thought that I want to think when it comes time to do the task on my calendar. So where it has a little option for the location, instead of putting where it is, because usually I'm at my house doing the task, I will put in the thought that I want to think. So for example, if it's film YouTube video and that's the task, with it I'll have a thought like, it doesn't need to be perfect, or this could help someone. And it just helps me remember why I'm doing it and makes me really motivated to do the task. Number three is to follow the calendar like it's a train timetable. A train does not care if you are in the mood to get it. It is leaving on time, regardless of you. And if you want to catch that train, you better be on it at exactly the time that it's leaving. And you can look at your calendar and see it that same way. So you've got to get on to that specific task at that exact time. And even if you haven't finished your previous task, you have got to start the next one and reschedule time for that other task another time. Or you're going to miss the train and your entire schedule for the whole day is going to be messed up. So make sure you follow the calendar exactly as it says, even if you're not done with something. Just move on to the next task. All right, number four is to finalize your plan for the day the night before. Because if you are waking up and making a plan, you are already behind. You want to have planned that so that you can wake up and hit the ground running. You don't want to be using that precious execution energy that you have in the morning on planning your day. You want it to be already all sorted. So make sure that you look the night before and make a decision about what is going to be done so that it is set in stone and ready to go when you wake up. Number five is to stick to your decisions. We can think of it like there's two different versions of you. There is your past self, and they are the adult in the relationship, and there is your present self, and they are the toddler in the relationship. And when the past self, the adult, has made a decision about what needs to be done, the present self, the toddler, never wants to do it. That is always my experience. My present self never wants to do the things I plan. So even if it's 8 o'clock in the morning and it says, write an email, and that's what my past self decided, she thought it was a great idea, my present self is going to make me do anything else other than that one thing. And that is why I have a rule for myself. My present self never gets to make any decisions about what I do. I leave that all up to the past self who made the decisions about what's going to happen today the night before. So my present self is any version of me today, and my past self is any version of me yesterday or before. Now, if you're anything like me, your present self will try to come up with a lot of very reasonable sounding reasons why it needs to change the decision. But we do not let toddlers make decisions because they make really bad decisions. They make decisions only about what they want in the moment, and they're not thinking about the third person in the relationship, who is your future self, who really needs you to follow through on what you said you were going to do. Otherwise, their life is going to be really hard. So when it is time to execute, you have to remind yourself, your past self knew what they were doing when they planned for you to do this. They are trying to help you. Do not make any new decisions. Follow through on the task. Now, this will all feel a lot easier if you follow number 6, which is to undercommit. Most people are just overcommitting to way too many things. And you know, if this is you, you've actually got more things on your plate than you can handle. And you need to look and actually ask yourself, what do I need to quit? My friend Derek Sivers has the best rule for this. He says, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. So if your brain is not saying, hell yeah, I totally want to do that thing, then say no, because that will leave room for the actual real yeses and the things you truly want to do. And then your entire life and your calendar will be filled with tasks you're actually super excited to do. So it's either hell yeah or no, because remember, there's no such thing as a hell maybe. Number 7 is to plan for your lowest energy self. Most of us are just planning for the version of us who's super productive. And yeah, we're sometimes that person, but are you that person every day? Like, it's not realistic to expect yourself to always be in high energy. So you've got to actually plan a calendar and plan out a week that you can actually realistically do. The way that you do that is you create yourself a calendar you can actually follow through on. Something that has breaks, something that gives you rest, and something that's not expecting you to be perfect all the time. Okay, number 8 is to do a weekly reset. I don't know very many people who do this, but it changed my life when I started going through a series of actions every single Sunday that will help me plan for the week. So I plan out my calendar, I look at my finances, I book appointments, I even delete everything from my downloads folder, and I get back to inbox 0 on my emails. And it's how I feel so ready for the week, because everything is back to square one. So I recommend that you get yourself a routine every single week where you are looking over the most important things, making decisions as your past self, and getting things done so that you can start the week fresh. Number 9 is to change your attractions. So did you know that there's really no such thing as distraction? There's only attraction. So you're not getting distracted from your work, you're getting attracted to your phone because of the thoughts that you're thinking about how much you would like to go and check your phone. When it dings, you're not thinking, I don't want to do this work. You're thinking, I want to check this phone. So the key to staying focused isn't just about removing the attractions that you don't want. It's really about creating a more attractive task so the thing you're doing is something you do want to do. Think about going to the cinema. That task is so attractive, you don't even want to check your phone. And I bet you can think of a whole bunch of other things that you do in your life that are so attractive and so enjoyable that you don't even think about distractions. So you've got to find a way to make those tasks that you don't really want to do super attractive. Why do you actually really want to do them? Number 10 is to give yourself more energy. Most people are just working in a constantly exhausted state, and you actually don't need a lot more hours. You need more energy within the hours that you have. It's going to take you only 4 minutes to write that email instead of 40 if you actually have enough sleep the night before. So you've got to look at what are the triggers that are draining your energy. Is it food? Is it sleep? Is it something else in your environment that's pulling away your energy? For me, I find it extremely helpful to walk on a treadmill while I am doing my work. So if I'm doing a task like responding to emails, I set up my treadmill in my office and I walk on it. And it's amazing how much more energized I feel while I'm doing that task. So what do you need to do to give yourself the energy to actually be able to complete all of the things that you want to do in your day? All right, those are my 10 time management techniques for you, but managing your time is really only the start. If you ever find yourself avoiding the things that you know you should be doing, then make sure you watch my video on how to follow through on any task or any goal that you have. It's going to help you make sure you actually end up doing the things that you have planned in your beautiful time managed week. So I will leave the link for that video in the description, and in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments what your favorite time management technique was, and I will talk to you in the next video.